Tonight on WTOP-10 Nightly News, a new play just opened at SUNY Oswego's Black Box Theater. What the show is all about.
And campus loses power, what the college had to say about the blackout.
Plus, a protest is being planned for the college's biggest game of the year, the incident that provoked the sit-in.
WTOP-10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Joe Seidman.
And I'm Piper Kiernan.
SUNY Oswego's Black Student Union is planning a silent sit-in at the men's ice hockey games this whiteout weekend. The two games will be taking place at 7 p.m. on both Friday and Saturday. The BSU is encouraging protesters to wear black clothing and face masks, bring signs, and show up early.
The protest is in response to a heckling incident that happened at an Alana Peace Walk earlier in the semester. On September 29th, Oswego's Black Student Association posted on Instagram describing and sharing an Oswegonian article on the incident. It states that a student slowed his vehicle down and spewed hateful comments at the group. WTOP-10 News will have more on the sit-in as the story develops.
Monday night, the SUNY Oswego campus lost power due to a wider national grid outage. The power went out around 5:40 p.m. all around campus. Action was taken evacuating Penfield while Pathfinder and Cooper stayed open, providing limited dining services. At 7:52 p.m., power was restored to the main campus with some buildings and facilities still powering up. The power outage did cause network issues, which were resolved Tuesday afternoon.
If you love the art of dance, then SUNY Oswego has the perfect club for you. WTOP-10 reporter Dominic Ciccarelli has a story. Dominic?
Sure thing, Piper. For those interested in dancing, SUNY Oswego's Del Sart Dance Club has been around for nearly 70 years, and its members are hard at work getting ready for their new recitals happening this weekend. The pleasure of hosting the Del Sart Dance Group this weekend for their first recital of the school year. The club will be performing to a variety of different genres of music, from country to EDM to modern hip-hop. Nothing is off limits for Del Sart.
Our opener is called Wild Wild West, so it's a western country sort of theme, so there's a bunch of songs. So I'm doing it to International Harvester, which is a classic country song. We have songs from like Miranda Lambert, we have a song from the Hannah Montana movie.
Del Sart aims to create a sense of friendship and community within the club and welcome students from all walks of life.
We all have our opener shirts that were designed by our PR, and they have a little cowboy on them. So we try to really stick with like our Western theme. So it's a really good way to get to know everybody because we're all different majors. So it's a really good way to like meet new people. All of my like closest friends on campus are through this club.
Whether you're a STEM major or you study the arts, Del Sart has got a place for all who love to dance. For WTOP-10, I'm Dominic Ciccarelli. The recitals will be on Friday, November 15th at 7 p.m. and Saturday, November 16th at 2 p.m. The event is free to all students, so if you liked any of those moves, be sure to check it out. Back to the desk.
SUNY Oswego's theater department is performing John Proctor as the villain. The show is based on the book The Crucible and takes place at a rural high school in Georgia, where students discover their own power. Performances start tonight and finish on November 17th. Tickets are free for students and $10 for the general public.
Joe, it's been pretty windy here in Oswego.
I fully agree, Piper. Let's take a look at your forecast with Storm Team 10 meteorologist Ryan Murphy.
Well, thank you, guys. Yeah, it has been pretty windy, and I do hate to tell you, but it is going to be pretty windy tonight and tomorrow, and it'll also be windy during the whiteout game. I'll give you a quick forecast about the whiteout game, which whether you should expect for puck drop and when you are leaving the game. That's all I have for you guys real quick. I'll be back after the break. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Ryan.
I'm not looking forward to this one coming up.
The Walmart Supercenter in Oswego has finished its renovations. The renovations expanded the online delivery part of the store and changed the floor layout for in-person shoppers. On November 8th, a ribbon-cutting ceremony was held to commemorate the reopening, with food trucks, free samples, and fun and games. Walmart also donated over $9,000 to the Oswego community to celebrate the occasion.
An $11 million federal grant was awarded to the Port of Oswego. The grant can help the port to become a portal for Micron's technology planned chip-making plant. The money is being used to build a climate-controlled warehouse which could store chemicals and gases used in computer memory chip production. This new warehouse will be the first climate-controlled warehouse at a Great Lakes port.
The Elks Club polling station in Oswego received a complaint from a citizen regarding a poll worker on November 5th before trying to place their vote. The citizen said that the poll worker expressed personal concerns about the New York State amendment known as Prop 1, alerting the voter that when they flip the ballot over, there is an explanation that is, quote, very manipulative and doesn't explain everything. Upon hearing this information, the Oswego Board of Elections immediately dismissed the worker from their position.
No charges are being pressed after a 6-year-old died due to a machine accident in Oswego. On November 9th at around 12:30 p.m., the Oswego Police Department was dispatched to a residence. The child was hit and killed by an adult on a skid steer and pronounced dead on the scene.
Still ahead tonight, brush fires continue to rage on in southern parts of the state, the blaze now reaching parts of Manhattan.
Plus, protests take place outside of the Syracuse Town Hall. More details after the break.
Jill told me it was Kitty from Glee. Yeah, what is it?
It's Al Roker.
We're here for you, we're here for you. This is your channel 2. With sports and news and what to do, we're here for you. It's your TV, you're watching WTOP. Your TV, thanks for watching WTOP.
What's going on?
Yeah, dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
No.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa. You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow.
Wow.
Get a close up of that one.
Matthew,
Broadcast news.
look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
Welcome back. I'm meteorologist Ryan Murphy with your local weather forecast. Now we're going to start off by taking a look at our current Great Lake water temperatures. Now you can see in pretty much every lake, including behind me over here on Lake Ontario, all of our lake temperatures are above average, except for Lake Superior. It must be different, I guess. Now, if you're wondering why am I telling you this winter we are not really projected to have too much snowfall, but lake effect snow is something that we should be able to encounter in. Now, lake effect snow is made when warmer lake waters meet colder temperatures. When those colder temperatures finally come on in during the winter, it might bring us a lot of lake effect snow. Could have a blizzard here or there, and maybe it'll bring us closer to those average snow totals that we're all hoping for. Looking at our current temperatures outside right now, it is pretty cold out there. Some places dropping below freezing. Our area is kind of sitting on that 32-degree freezing-ish area, and over here in Rochester, it's close to 40. Pretty varied temperatures. Now, tonight into tomorrow, it's going to be pretty windy out. There's going to be a lot of wind gusts. If you got anything loose, you might want to lock it up, bring it inside. Now, these winds are going to continue on all throughout the night into tomorrow morning. So if you're going to classes in the morning or work, you may want to throw on a windbreaker. Now this wind is going to die down throughout Friday, and then during Friday it is going to pick back up just in time for the Oswego State hockey whiteout game. I'll give you a quick forecast of the game. During puck drop, it's going to be about 47 degrees. It's going to be a little chilly out there, like I mentioned a second ago. There are going to be a lot of wind gusts. Same thing, you might want to throw on a windbreaker, a white windbreaker if you got it. By the time we're leaving the game, it's going to cool down to a lower 40s, around 41. Like I said, cold and breezy. Shouldn't be too bad. Now tonight, like I mentioned, it's going to be pretty gusty out there. It is going to be a little bit cooler, about 30 degrees. You got wind on top of that. So if you're going outside, you might want to bundle up. Tomorrow, it is going to warm up, getting close to that 50 degree mark. It'll be partly sunny, wind gusts like I mentioned again. And now looking at our extended forecast, it is going to warm up throughout the week, and we're going to have a nice sunny weekend. These temperatures are supposed to stay in the mid-50s, mid-low 50s throughout the week, and we are looking at a small chance of rain Monday morning, and who knows, maybe we could get a flurry or two late Monday night into Tuesday if it comes to it. That's all I have for my local weather forecast. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Ryan. Brush fires continue to rage on the border between New York and New Jersey, with flames reaching Manhattan today. Unusually high drought conditions are fueling the fire along with wind and dry air. This is the latest in an unusually high number of brush fires in the region this year. As of today, the wildfire has scorched nearly 3,500 acres of land between New Jersey and New York.
An Auburn man is arrested in Syracuse today following a deadly stabbing. The Syracuse Police Department arrived on scene just before 7 a.m., where they found 31-year-old Devontae Crosby with a stab wound to his torso. Crosby received aid from AMR but died shortly after. After arriving on the scene, police took suspect Tyler Kilmer into custody. He's being charged with manslaughter in the first degree and criminal possession of a weapon.
Protesters rallied outside of the Syracuse Town Hall today, demanding lead-free drinking water. A report released last month from an environmental watchdog group reporting high levels of lead. In July, 27 out of 104 homes randomly tested were above the Environmental Protection Agency's benchmark for lead levels. 2 Syracuse Water Department employees are currently being investigated after improperly testing water samples earlier in 2024.
Donald Trump is back in Washington. The president-elect met with President Joe Biden, and the two were expected to discuss the transition process. Our Washington correspondent, Julia Benbrook, is at the White House with more on this visit.
Joe Biden and President-elect Donald Trump meeting in the Oval Office Wednesday.
Looking forward to having a, like we said, smooth transition.
It's their first sit-down since Trump secured a second term.
Politics is tough. And it's, in many cases, not a very nice world, but it is a nice world today, and I appreciate it very much. A transition that's so smooth, it'll be as smooth as it can get.
It's a tradition for the outgoing president to host the incoming commander-in-chief after the election. But Trump did not host Biden in 2020, as he fought the election result.
President-elect Donald Trump has been announcing several of his newest cabinet members in recent days. He confirmed he'll be naming Elon Musk and former presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy the heads of the Department of Government Efficiency. Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz will be nominated as the U.S. Attorney General, and former New York Congressman Lee Zeldin will be named the Environmental Protection Agency.
More than a week after the election, Pennsylvania's U.S. Senate race is heading to a recount. The extremely tight Senate race is between Democrat Bob Casey and Republican challenger Dave McCormick. According to Pennsylvania Secretary of the Commonwealth, McCormick leads Casey by less than 30,000 votes. It comes while provisional and mail-in ballots are still being counted. Once counties in Pennsylvania finish counting their ballots, election officials must start the recount no later than November 20th.
When WTOP-10 Nightly News continues, there has been a massive butter recall. How Costco is responding.
And Christmas is around the corner. How Chipotle is celebrating.
sports and news and what to do, we're here for you. It's your TV, you're watching WTOP. Your TV, thanks for watching WTOP.
In consumer news, Lunchables will no longer be a menu item in schools around the United States. Kraft announced this on Tuesday. Reports showed demand did not reach its target. The decision came after Lunchables were tested and found high levels of sodium, lead, and cadmium. None of the levels exceeded the federal limit, but has risen the CDC's concern. Kraft says it plans to revisit the idea in the future.
Chipotle is bringing back its best-selling holiday gifts. The All I Want is Chipotle collection is inspired by its customer. Cilantro soap, which is a nod to people who think cilantro tastes like soap. There's a water cup candle that is inspired by a customer who has asked for a water cup, but it was filled with lemonade. Also a car napkin holder. The gift set goes on sale starting Thursday.
Costco is recalling 80,000 pounds of butter, according to the FDA. The butter is being pulled because the packaging lacks a contains milk statement. The recall includes Kirkland Signature Sweet Cream Butter and Kirkland Signature Salted Sweet Cream Butter. The products were distributed throughout Texas. You can either return the butter to the store or throw it out. Now up in sports, Cameron Carvalho.
Cameron, can you give us a preview of Lakers basketball?
Sure thing. The SUNY Oswego women's basketball team will be in action this weekend right here at the Max Zeal tournament at Max Zeal Gymnasium. The four-team tournament features the Lakers along with SUNY Geneseo, SUNY Poly, and Amherst College. They will start against SUNY Poly on Friday at 5:30 and then play either the winner or the loser of the other game on Saturday. The Lakers have already been in action this year against St. Lawrence University, a game in which they lost 62-44. The Lakers are returning their two top scorers from last year, Giovanna White Principio and Macy Diorio, who both averaged over 8 points per game last season. Last season's team finished at a 14-12 record, their second consecutive winning season under head coach Sean Pinkerton. This season's team will look to replicate the successes of last year's team, such as a 5% advantage in three-point shooting percentage, a 3.8 rebounds per game advantage, and a 3.7 assists per game advantage, among others. Now, in terms of what we can expect this weekend, the Lakers will likely be favored to win their first matchup against the SUNY Poly Warriors, who finished last season with a 7-18 record. If the Lakers are able to prevail in that game, they would face a tough test in either a strong Amherst team that finished at 19-6 last season, or the SUNY Geneseo Warriors, who finished last season at 19-9. The championship game for this tournament is this Saturday at 4 p.m. That's all for now. Stay tuned after the break for your full look into sports with Mike Neckers.
What's going on?
Yeah, dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
No.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa. You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow. Get a close up of that one.
Broadcast news.
Look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
we'll deep dive into our feelings in our Real Talk segment. Stay tuned because it's about to get real.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back to Major Discussions.
Welcome back and welcome into your Wednesday night sports report. I'm Mike Neckers, and without further ado, let's kick things off. First things first, the Oswego State women's volleyball team was unable to get it done in the first round of SUNYAC play last night as they faced off against the New Paltz Hawks and were swept 3-0. The Hawks made light work of the Lakers in their first set, winning it 25-16. However, Cara Simplicio tried to lead the team back, finishing the night with 8 kills and 3 aces, but the Hawks prevailed, winning the second set 25-23 and the first set 25-21. So 2 really close sets there in the end, but the Lakers unable to come out with any of them. Fall sports coming to a close in Oswego is certainly a bittersweet moment, but with that being said, the Oswego State men's hockey team has the biggest game of their season this Friday, November 15th, as the Plattsburgh Cardinals are coming into the Deborah F. Stanley Ice Arena, looking to win their second straight game against the Lakers, last year, of course, being the SUNYAC semifinals right here in Oswego. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, head on over to tickets.oswego.edu. That's tickets.oswego.edu and get there as soon as possible because it's whiteout and the arena will be at full capacity. And if you're a New York hockey fan from Oswego, I'm sure you're hopeful for the Lakers to come out on top this Friday because the New York Rangers and Islanders both failed to do so last night. The 9-4-1 Rangers put on an impressively bad defensive performance against the Winnipeg Jets, and Igor Shesterkin finished the night with an .844 save percentage. That is just abysmal, especially when we've looked at what he did last season. It wasn't any better for the Islanders either, who lost a tight one in overtime 4-3 to the Edmonton Oilers. A really devastating loss there for them. And New York hockey sure has been a bummer, but the NFL season continues to shock just about everybody. And tomorrow night, we've got an NFC East matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders. With the Cowboys and Giants both looking pretty bad, the NFC East is seemingly a two-headed race. Both teams are sitting at 7 wins on the year, the Commanders with 3 losses and the Eagles with 2. So this game is extremely important as a win for the Commanders would put them at the top of the NFC East. But the Eagles are not the only Philly team we're going to be talking about tonight because last night the New York Knicks and Jalen Brunson traveled to the city of brotherly love to face off against Paul George and the Sixers. And right there, right off the bat, was a 3-pointer there from Karl Anthony Towns. And here comes OG Anunoby, and oh my goodness, that is absolutely stunning. Brunson coming down the court here, still the first quarter, and Anunoby once again gets the slam home, uncontested at the rim. He would finish the night with 24 points, 6 boards, and 2 assists. A really good night for him. And you've only seen Knicks highlights so far, but how about Paul George off balance, falling sideways, and he drills it. Must have called back because they're going to count that bucket. And Unk again here, finds him in the corner. And corner 3, he drills it. 34 years old and still hooping like that. What a guy, an absolute stud. Paul George, we've seen enough, sir. Make way for Prince Embiid. Big fellas are not supposed to shoot like this, but here we are, folks. He drills it, no problem. And remember those Anunoby yams we saw earlier on in this highlight? How about one more? Driving from the corner, and he makes it look so freaking easy. I mean, just so easy for him. And the New York Paint Beasts continue to dominate. Here's Cat getting tripled in the paint, but he somehow finds Josh Hart up top for the dagger. 97-83 Knicks. Hart finished with a triple-double in this one. A really good game from him and Joel Embiid, one of the best guys in the league. Watch, he looks at the camera here. We caught him in 4K. But anywho, Knicks with the 111-19 win in the first round of the NBA season tournament and sending the Sixers back to the drawing board. Knicks are 5-5 on the year and are facing off against the Bulls down at the end of the third right now. But that's all for my sports report tonight. We'll be right back here on WTOP-10.
La 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 la. Free. La 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 la. La 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 la. Freeze.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
We'll deep dive into our feelings in our Real Talk segment. Stay tuned because it's about to get real.
And it could be your last chance to see one occur for 2 decades, as the next time one will be visible over the continental U.S.
He's May 84. Yarrow told police in the hospital that he had pressed the doorbell and waited.
They mix with oxygen and nitrogen. They become briefly
It's time to honor a popular American snack that's a big deal to a lot of people. Tomorrow is National Pickle Day.
Pickle's special day has now been celebrated for more than 70 years. Americans eat more than 5 million pounds of them each year.
Whether accompanied with a sandwich or chopped up as a relish, pop open a jar of your favorite type of pickles today.
It may be spicy, sweet, or tart, but don't forget to post a photo to social media using the hashtag National Pickle Day.
And Joe, I gotta say, I love the little play on words you did there, a big deal. But I gotta ask you, are you a fan of pickles?
I am not a fan of pickles. How about you, Ryan? And
Oh,
Piper?
absolutely not. When I go to McDonald's to get a chicken sandwich, I take that pickle right off.
Mike, I know you're gonna be the odd one out and you definitely love pickles.
I do. I am a really huge fan of dill pickles, not as much with sweet pickles. I'll have some on occasion, but I feel like if you eat too many sweet pickles, they just kind of, it doesn't taste as good anymore.
And how about you, Piper?
I am a hater of pickles.
Oh my God. 1v3, guys, come on. Well, with that being said, I'm going to give you guys a little rundown on Oswego sports this weekend because there's a whole lot going on. So we've got Whiteout Weekend, like we mentioned earlier. Women's hockey is going to kick that off against SUNY Morrisville at 3 p.m. this Friday. And then Friday night, Oswego men's hockey versus Plattsburgh. And then again, Saturday afternoon, Oswego women's hockey are taking on Plattsburgh as well. And then Saturday night, Oswego's taking on Potsdam. So 4 games of hockey. And we've got a women's basketball tournament up at the Max Field Gymnasium this weekend as well. It's going to be chilly in the depths. So Ryan, what would you recommend people wear?
Well, it's pretty chilly, so you might want to wear something white, of course. Maybe a white sweatshirt, white sweatpants. It's the whiteout game. So grab your tickets, grab a jacket, be ready for all that gusty winds. So, you guys planning on going to the game?
I think so. Well, that's our report for tonight.
Thank you for watching. Have a great night, everyone.